Now, if there's a fraud on the ocean, it's the idea of ballistic missiles coming out of submarines and making it to destroy continents. And we'll clearly show that. But the submarines themselves, in a sense, are a fraud. Submarines are definitely nothing what they say. Do you imagine how much force it would take to propel a vessel like a submarine once it's underwater? The drag involved there. I mean, it can only go so far in underwater mode, and I can guarantee you it can't go very deep either. It wouldn't get back up again. It's the system they use to refloat wouldn't work once you got serious water pressure, and I'll show that in a minute. But look at this rocket launch here. And you saw that bit there. There it is here, and here are the guys launching it, right? This guy gives the final instruction. I'll just show him. Look, he's on the telephone. There he is. There's the trigger. You can see that guy on the telephone there. There he is. Okay, launch. And we'll just watch it here. Look how it has that, and look at the change. Look at the edit cut, and look at this bit, and look at it's going this way, going that way. How fake is this? Seriously. Then it goes up. Look, here it goes. Look how much fuel it's using. Some small sort of model rocket. And what will it do? It'll just go up here and it starts to disappear a bit. And here we go here. Look at that great image there of it. Just showing the great quality. This is straight from British Defence. Look how faint it's getting there. Look, brighter again now. Look how, you see that how a little pin it looked there, like a little pinprick at the front of it sort of thing. Pretty much invisible now. Look, now it's just that. There it is. There it is. And now you don't see any more. You see the submarine has already resurfaced and the helicopters are out looking for the missile. But I'm afraid that's just a model, a total model. Look, Thunderbirds. Thunderbirds are go. It had something on the front there and it doesn't seem to have it anymore there. Oh look, see that little thing at the front? Oh maybe, but look at the double shadows there. Strange indeed. Oh yeah, it's still on it there. Oh, but definitely look, we've lost it pretty quick there and the sky has changed miraculously to that. But it comes back blue again. Look, it's very faint there, look. See what rubbish this is. Absolute rubbish. Well, here's a little bit about how they dive. And I reckon this shows about as deep as they can go. Especially those real big ones. I mean, the weight involved, they wouldn't want to go too deep because they've got to push the water back out to rise out of the air that they say they compress into tanks. Well, if you went too far down, the water pressure is going to make that pretty hard to do. And I can't find any decent images of submarines underwater. This certainly looks pretty fraudulent. All these empty windows, and look way the other side is lower for some reason, yet it looks like it's pretty straight across. There, look, it's very low there. There's a little bit of air coming out here, and look, that looks like a lot of air coming out of the top of the submarine there. They can't be too healthy. Yeah, so not many decent images of any submarines underwater there. That white one there, sort of half submerged. You get a lot of these images like here. What in the hell's that? It's a cartoon. Yeah, radio control model. But All these things from even back in World War One, they reckon they had something like this. So I ask you, it looks like it's a perpetual hoax again. 21, blackjack. Look at this thing. You see, fraudulent history on fraud. The USS Spearfish. I'm just not liking this going very deep at all. If it does at all, it just cruises the surface. Well, look at this French one here, launched in 1929. It was 361 feet long, 3,300 tons, the largest pre-World War II submarine. These masts on here, they wouldn't go real well underwater now, would they? That's just a boat, isn't it, really? Come on now, look at this business here. The big tank on top. Yeah, look at this. How could this go underwater? And all these lines here too. I'm calling this BS for a start. Well, hulls made of titanium. And they reckon they can go 1,300 metres. I'm finding this very hard to believe. I'm not so much worried about the construction caving in as just how do they push the water back out and replace it with the air that they've compressed for it to fill all around and float it up again. Yes, this looks like one very cumbersome vehicle, not very good in waves, unless you can go underneath them, of course. At that stage it might be alright, but then it's not going to turn corners very fast, is it? With all that pressure. It's going to need a hell of a lot of maintenance. I reckon they're just docked around like you have them in Sydney Harbour, a show pony thing. Out for a bit of a cruise, a little bit of a submersion, up again, take a few photos. Best they're probably capable of. Look at these windows that you'd have to steer it from to get any vision. And the pressure would break them in surely. Just like rockets, those big rockets on the backs of trucks, really, just a big fear porn weapon as far as I'm concerned. Yes, here's the procedure, and again it's just showing it just underneath the surface. That's about the best thing that you're going to get with it. I know it's so small inside, eh? Let's have a look at the inside of one of them. Yes, these things are very suspect indeed. As you can see, the missiles are useless. Maybe they can launch a torpedo. I think they're just a real little fear machine, and they certainly wouldn't be that good for long distance use. You'd have to just take them to a spot, and then everybody has a couple of days off to recover. What do you mean locked in this thing? It's a bit like their little moon box. People can say, oh, these guys are built of steel. Yeah, you need air. Look at the little induction and exhaust. And you wouldn't want these things getting broken off when you're diving now, would you? Then you'd have some trouble. So I tell you, I reckon this is fraudulent stuff. Anyway, I'll do some more research on submarines and I'll be counting on the comments from people. And no doubt I'll get a lot of shills going, oh, I was in this submarine and that submarine. Look, I'm not saying they don't exist totally. I'm just saying that their real practical use is pretty limited, except to conjure up a whole lot of fear.